Hell yeah, welcome to Morning Skate, episode number 346. Your host, Ked, joined by my co-host, Brownie. Brownie, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
We are here on a Sunday night. Football is probably the worst matchup of the week is on right now, Dallas versus San Fran.
Did you get to catch any of the Commanders and
the end? I saw the end because
wow.
This is all right. I'm going to give you a 0 right now. Wow. Fuck the NFL. This whole thing about blacking out everything except for your home game. So, like, if you don't have like
package or
YouTube streams, or YouTube TV, whatever it is, you're in New England. You're stuck watching an awful Patriots team play the fucking Jets. It's horrible, and there's no other game on at 1 o'clock. And they wrote it all the way to the end because who gives a? They had 3 fucking wins between them coming into this game. There were so many better games on.
So, I get that. I get that 100%.
But yeah, that was a crazy ending to that Commanders-Bears game.
Wow, the Jaden Daniels kid's pretty good.
Caleb Williams looked pretty good too.
Yeah, no, that was like a really cool game in terms. That was kind of like a. I mean, how would you compare that in like NHL terms? That would be like Bedard's playing against that Celebrini kid, probably.
Yeah,
ish.
And then an overtime goal for one of them.
Yeah. It was awesome.
on like a goalie pass that floated sauce from his own end.
All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about, so let's just kind of hop into it. Let's see what we messed up last week. Mea culpas.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
All right. What did we mess up, dude?
Well, yours was actually weird because when you weren't in your fucking troll pants, you said Linus instead of Linus, and you did it twice in the podcast because you were not busy trying to troll me and you were just talking about hockey.
Well, I just respect the fact that he's the number 1 goalie now and he's on Betterment first team. So shout out to Linus.
I looked for some more info for this James Harrison Ocho Cinco fight because you were like, this isn't real. It is real, but it's been cricket since the original thing on October 4th. So maybe it's not.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. And then you guaranteed a dub on your last beer league game. Did you win?
Guess who's not Mark Messier? This guy. We'll get into it a little bit.
So it's 2 thumbs and isn't the Moose. And then that kid, Ashton Genty. Are we going with Genty? Is that how we're saying it? I guess the running back for Boise State, Genty.
Can we say Gene T? Just because, like, I love a good set of jeans.
So okay, and I like sweet tea, so Gene T.
Oh yeah.
He currently has 159 carries for 1,376 yards with 18 touchdowns. That's an 8.7 average with 208 yards a game average. Put it this way, all last year he had 20 less yards than he has right now through like 8 games.
Crazy.
And he played Saturday versus UNLV with a win, and he only had 128 yards and a touchdown.
What a bomb!
Off day.
What a
Just
bomb!
got banged up Friday night.
All right, let's do it. NHL in the news. Come on. All right, NHL news time. So Pittsburgh, we're going to start with them. Pretty big milestone. Sidney Crosby became the 10th player in league history to reach 1,600 points. He was the 5th fastest to get to this level, and is also now 10th all-time in scoring and is currently 7 goals away from 600. The other members of the 1,600 club, I'm surprised you didn't have me guess these. Wayne Gretzky, Jaromir Jagr, Mark Messier, Gordie Howe, Ron Francis, Marcel Dion, Steve Yzerman, Mario Lemieux, and Joe Sakic. So
I feel like, except for Dion, those would have been your guesses.
I feel like that's pretty good company. And reading this right now, there was an era where Gretzky, Jagr, Messier, Francis, Yzerman, Lemieux, and Sakic all played. Like, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And we have one Crosby. Well, McDavid will be there. Maybe McKinnon. Makar might be there, but like that's a lot of names during that little era.
If Makar's there, it'll be way more impressive as a defenseman.
Yeah, 100%. Pittsburgh, Mount Rushmore, Jaromir Jagr,
Hold on, before you go listen. So this came across my timeline, and I think this is an interesting, like, we talk about, like, what jerseys you would get from any other team, make your starting 5 from other team, from your team or whatever.
Yep.
This was just interesting because you don't really think about, like, your top 4 players, your Mount Rushmore. And then when they broke it down, this is crazy. This might be the Mount Rushmore. So that's why I put it in here.
Okay, so Jaromir Jagr, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin. They've combined for quite the stat line. So 2,219 goals, 3,475 assists for 5,694 points. They also have 10 Stanley Cup rings, 2 Calder trophies, 7 Hart trophies, 10 Ted Lindsay awards, and 15 Art Ross trophies. It's pretty good.
I'd be willing to wager back in the day that you could probably come up with 4 Canadians to equal the hardware, but I don't know about the points.
Oilers, you could go Gretzky, Messier, Curry, and then
Glenn Anderson, maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing about
on the Oilers for a while.
Yeah, the thing about these 4 is they actually
they're
play
lifelong
together. Oh, and lifelong. Yeah.
Well, not Jagr, but Lemieux.
No, not Jagr, but they all played together.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking nuts, man.
So, and then the opposite end of the spectrum.
Good stat there, Brownie. San Jose, stay hot. Vitek Vanacek played a game with his name spelled wrong. Sweater has last name as Vanacek. I mean, that's what you get from a high caliber organization like San Jose. They became the first team in NHL history to begin consecutive seasons with 9 losses.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, I feel bad. I loved Mike Greer when he was a player.
He was a gamer.
Yeah.
Definitely a gamer. I lost all credibility when he hired David Quinn.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Opposite ends of the spectrum, Winnipeg. I mean, every time we mention this team, we're wrong. So, it was all deuces for Mark, as Mark Scheifele scored 2 seconds before 2:22 on the Jets' 22nd shot to tie Pittsburgh, who also had 22 shots on goal, and the score after the goal was 2-2. They are also the last remaining unbeaten team at 8-0-0 on the season and host Toronto Monday night. So Winnipeg could be a wagon. The Minnesota Wild could also be a wagon up until their last game, which, I don't know. Up until recently, I don't know what happened super recently, but they had lost 2 games, won all the other games, but the 2 games that they lost were in overtime. So I think there was a point in the season where they literally had not trailed any of the games.
That's
if you think about
Dallas, for the first, I think, 7 games, I don't think Dallas trailed either, something like that.
There's some teams that are off to hot starts. Rangers, I'm pretty sure, are off to hot start. How are the Bruins doing?
Not a hot start.
Okay. Right. It's not for everybody.
We'll get to the Bruins.
Vancouver, Tyler Myers played game 1,000 earlier this week. Houston, Texas native, shout out Fink, has a stat line of 93 goals, 279 assists, 372 points with 793 PIMs in 1,001 game played over parts of 16 seasons with Buffalo, Winnipeg, and Vancouver. He was taken 12th overall in 2000 by Buffalo. Do you remember when he first came out, dude? He was just like, you hadn't seen anybody that big, and maybe not big, but tall. Remember, he was just like, he looked like a giraffe. He kind of Chara, but like not nearly as, Had a hot start in Buffalo, got shipped out in Buffalo, kind of carved himself a pretty good role now, though. Would you consider he top 4 defenseman? Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And he's a good skater, too, which is always deceiving with someone his size.
And when you are that size, and I mean, the stick correlates to the size. So if you're 6'8" or however tall he is, his stick,
12-foot stick. Yeah.
Think about how much space you're just like fucking around with that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Radar sweep.
And I think he has gotten a little tougher as he's gotten older. So
good
on him. Congrats. Good career. Not good for Utah.
Yeah.
Sean Jersey will be out 4 to 6 months following a shoulder surgery, and John Marino is out 3 to 4 months following lower back surgery. I wonder if this means Utah is going to be looking to make a move. Who knows? I mean, those are your top 4 defensemen. If you want to stay competitive, if you want any shot, and it's not like it's 1 or 2 weeks. Like, they're going to be out for a fucking while.
Yeah, what's crazy, though, is that you're back quicker from back surgery than shoulder surgery.
Oh, dude, lower back surgery sounds
terrifying.
Terrible, dude. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, man. That sucks.
Agreed.
Oh, dude, last weekend, I went to bed on the couch, and I woke up, and my neck and my back dude, Brownie, I'm not fucking with you.
I know you were telling me the other night when we were on that conference call with that guy.
Heating pad every single day. I don't even know. My one buddy.
You got to try Tiger Balm.
I was doing the icy hot, and
I like Tiger Balm better personally.
I'll have to check it out. Toronto activated.
And real quick, that's how you know when you're playing with older guys. Is you walk in the locker room and it smells like icy hot Tiger Bomb and Bengay.
And Vic.
All you hear is Velcro as everybody's strapping up to go out and play.
I love that. Toronto activated Joseph Wall from IR and assigned Dennis Hildeby to the AHL Marlies. Stolarz had a record of 3-2-0 on the season with a 1.83 goals against and a 938 save percentage. Toronto, it's so weird. It's just like, it's so unlike them to be doing a goalie carousel ever. Like, they normally just have that one guy who's awesome, right?
Stolarz is actually playing well. He played well against the Bruins.
Stolarz is not going to win.
He's playing well.
Yeah, but he's not going to win a Stanley Cup. You can play well all he wants. It's just, I look at teams like Toronto, I look at teams like Edmonton, and it's like, dude, how do you not see this?
Everybody's got different mindsets on how to build a team.
Dude, could you imagine if the Oilers got rid of like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? Great player, right? Really, really good caliber player. I don't think you need him on your team. If you traded him for, I don't know, let's just fucking throw names around, like UC Saros or like a fucking, give me some names. Give me like quality.
It's got to be a good goalie on a bad team, and then RNH would go in and be the big dog. That's right. That's how you have to look at it.
Would make Edmonton so much better.
Yeah.
Maybe there aren't, like, I mean, the Islanders have two. They have Varlamov and they have Sorokin. They have.
I think the other side of that spectrum is that people with good goalies who have built their team from the net out know the value of the asset, and they're like, I'm not moving off this guy.
Right. I don't know. Just interesting. Speaking of good goalies, this is a pretty cool stat. Sergei Bobrovsky became the fastest goalie to 400 wins, 707 games played when Florida beat New York Rangers last week in front of the previous fastest to 400, Henrik Lundqvist, 727. Bobrovsky is the 14th goalie to achieve the 400 W threshold, fourth undrafted goalie, joining Eddie Belfour, Tony Esposito, and Cujo Curtis Joseph. Wow, those are some pretty good undrafted goalies. Holy shit.
It's sick. And as good as that is, wait to see the next thing.
Before we get to the next thing, is it just me or did Bobrovsky like suck for like 5 or 6 years and he still has this many wins?
He had bad stretches. I think he didn't want to play.
He had bad stretches with Philly. Then he went to Florida on a weird deal. Was okay, got shitty. Came back. I think it's all becomes your priorities as you age. I mean, like we talked about it with Igor when we were talking about it last podcast. We were saying maybe his main number one goal isn't to win a cup, and maybe that was the same with Bobrovsky. I don't know.
You know,
Cale Makar, how good is he playing? Currently has figured in 15 of the team's goals this season, 3 goals, 12 assists for 15 points. That's more than Edmonton, New York Islanders, and Nashville have scored as a team so far. They only have 14 goals each. They also recalled Chris Wagner from the AHL Colorado Eagles.
Fucking Wags out there still living the dream. Good for him.
Good for him. I remember Hal used to like him a lot. Just
tough, works hard, works his bag off. Yeah.
Rangers. Yeah, we can talk. Should I wait and actually? Yeah, let me. The only thing.
Do these, then you can talk about the team when we get to the Rangers.
Okay, so they re-signed Alexi Lafreniere, 7 years, $7.45 million. I am fucking pumped about this deal because I remember
go deeper when we get to the Rangers.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited nonetheless. Matt Rempe was sent to the AHL. This is something I want to update you. He just got called back up because they played the Capitals, I believe, on Tuesday.
So he's up for Tom Wilson.
Dylan McElrath.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Wait. So this kind of, you're trying to sweep this under the rug, but
oh my God, Hal has been chirping me so hard about this, man. Hard.
In the future, then just text me directly because I'll make sure we talk about it.
I thought I was scot-free, man. I really did. I was
banner hanging in Madison Square Garden that says 2023-2024 regular season champions. I mean, at least say President's Trophy winner. That's horrible.
Yeah, I think
look at the computer gave a thumbs up because I said that was horrible.
If you win the President's Trophy, it's obviously not the cup, but it's still quite the accomplishment. Like you're grinding through an 82 game season. You are the best team in hockey throughout 82 games. That is something I think should be applauded.
Okay.
Having said that, there's no such thing as a regular season champion. The real season starts when playoff starts. That's how that pisses me off.
I don't have an issue with the banner. I have an issue of the wording on the banner.
President's Trophy would have been okay with. I still would have gotten peeked about. I would have had to pretended like, oh, it's I would have been okay. This is embarrassing.
So is this stolen? This has to be, right?
Has to be, yeah.
Has to be him.
Yeah, I mean,
tough week for Madison Square Garden. They got regular season champions, and I'm pretty sure they're burning crosses in it right now as we speak.
Oh, that's not cool, dude. What was I gonna say? I do wish I wish I could have a beer with a couple guys on the team where they were like super loose and like very transparent about what they actually thought. And I could ask them, be like, what did you guys think about this? I'm interested to see how many of them would be like, that's so fucking stupid. Or some of them would give you the, hey, we earned it, you know?
Give me the top 3 that you'd want to have a beer with, and give me the bottom 3 you wouldn't.
Trocheck would be pissed off about that. So I'd have a beer with Vinny Trocheck. Lafreniere,
Okay.
I think, would be pissed off about it, but he might be diplomatic in it.
Okay.
Lindgren would be, I think Trouba would probably be like, yeah, I'm not into it or whatever. I think the players that would be like, hey, listen, we earned that regular season champion. That would be Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider. Maybe Trouba could go either way, honestly, but I think those would be the two. I think Adam Fox would think it'd be stupid, but like those are the two that would hang their hat like, oh, hey, Mika Zibanejad, by the way, fucking stinks, dude.
All right, don't get going. Don't get going. Go to the next thing. Save your New York.
Speaking of 1,000 games, good Western Canadian boy, Luke Shen, 1,000 games, Saskatoon. Wait, is he Western Canadian? I always thought he was. Is Saskatoon West?
Saskatchewan is not. It's more central.
He's west of me, so I'll call him Western.
There you go.
Stat line, 44 goals, 155 assists, and 199 points with 814 PIMs and 1,002 games played over parts of 16 seasons. Good for him. 2 with Toronto, Philly, Kings, Arizona, Anaheim, 2 times Vancouver, Tampa Bay, and Nashville. Suitcase. Taken 5th overall in 2008 by Toronto. He also scored in his 1,000th game with all of his friends and family there. I'm pretty sure he got his fucking face caved in against the Bruins, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you about that kid. But good on Luke Shen. The Shens were like weird, right? Because they were both drafted pretty high. When you're drafted that high, normally you kind of stick with the team that drafts you. And they both kind of went their separate ways with the organizations that took them. But
it was Castlick he fought, right? Mark Castlick. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if their careers went the way they thought it would, but I mean, being in the game for 1,000+ games, that's something very honorable.
I mean, nothing you can hold your head
high. Detroit won 1-0 over the New York Islanders, where the Red Wings had 11 shots on goal. Greasy win for the Wings as Alex Lyon made 30 saves for the shutout. Per the Detroit broadcast, the shots on goal is the fewest in a Detroit win since 1959.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if it was that game, but there's some serious beef going on with the Islanders and the media right now.
Oh, yeah?
The other game, it might have been that one. It's recently. The Islanders didn't make Patrick Waugh or any of their players available to the media. And the post media fucking hated that. And then I saw this one rumor, I don't even know who said it, that Patrick Waugh and Lamoriello are on the outs right now. I don't know if that's, what's going on. I wouldn't be completely shocked by it, but and then, this fucking picture and video of Michael Rasmussen and Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes trying to deliver the Scheifele. Who did Scheifele bury on the Canadiens?
Oh, Evans? Yeah. I forget. Yeah.
I think it was Evans. Tried to do the same kind of thing and just got fucking buried, dude.
Awesome. And then this is my issue. So, look, I have no problem with the play, right? Rasmussen's trying to score. Jack Hughes is busted ass on the back check and trying to blow him up. Everything to that point is fine. Okay? In my view.
Okay.
Jack Hughes bounced off him. It didn't even look like Rasmussen leaned into it.
Jack Hughes is 120 pounds.
I understand that. What the fuck is he doing jumping up barking? That's where I was with you, Hughes, until that moment, and then you look like the biggest fucking bitch standing up yelling why'd you knock me down? It was horrible. Horrible. That's the face of USA hockey.
One of them.
Yeah. Awful. And I did see a post where they had it side by side from looking at the front of Rasmussen from the opposite side of the rink. And they had it side by side with the Muhammad Ali picture when he's like, "Get up, sucker!" When he knocked, forget who he knocked out. But anyway,
wasn't there a Reeves picture?
Yeah, it was Reeves' picture a few years ago. Yep.
Alex Ovechkin has some outside report in the chase of Wayne Gretzky's scoring title, the great one himself. He disclosed recently that even when he's in a slump, he'll sometimes text him and say, "Don't worry about it. It will come. He's on my side." I mean, very classy. if I was Wayne, I wouldn't want him to fucking break it. But
I'm not Wayne, and I don't want him to break it.
Yeah, he's saying all the right things. So I think he will.
I'm sure he will, but I'm not rooting for it.
But when it does happen, I think that's gonna be we're gonna have to like really recognize that. We might have to have like a 20-minute like deep dive into his career because this is never gonna happen again, dude.
That's not true.
I mean, it's gonna be a while.
Yes,
it's gonna be a very long time.
Yeah,
until fucking dude.
What?
Ovechkin breaks it, and then we're still doing this podcast 15-20 years later, and we have to have another 20 to 30 minute deep dive into Austin Matthews' career when he beats
tap out.
St. Louis announced that Robert Thomas has a fractured ankle and will be reevaluated in 6 weeks. Tough blow for St. Louis. This Robert Thomas kid's really fucking good.
Yeah, he's that heart and soul guy too, really.
Yeah, and the Blues have always been a team that, I mean, growing up, my dad kind of liked them. So, and I thought like their old like dark blue uniforms were sick back when like David Backes was like killing people and shit. I don't know. Jake Onger signed an 8-year, $8.25 million AAV with Dallas. Good on him. American kid. I think BU, pretty sure.
Jeremy Swayman setting the tone for the entire NHL like he wanted to. That's someone who understands the responsibility he's been shouldered with.
Having seen these contracts, I think Igor is going to make more. I just don't know how much more. And that's a little scary.
It's clearly got to be more than 11 or 12.
Yeah, we'll see. Senators head coach Travis Green says Shane Pinto will be out week to week with an undisclosed injury.
I just feel bad for Shane Pinto.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish.
Really do.
Yeah. Is that a recent thing that just came out? Because they were talking about Ottawa the other night on the Rangers broadcast, how they were coming to like the tri-state area, and I think Pinto's from Long Island and how he's going to be pumped to be playing, but now I don't think
he's not. No.
Four Nations tourney, the sweaters. We're going to discuss them.
What do you think?
I think it's funny that Sweden's just like, don't fuck with our stuff.
I think I respect that one the most because that's their Olympic jersey, and they're like, "Fuck you! This is what we're sticking with."
Yeah,
so I respect that.
Yeah, I think I like Canada's. I think Canada's is pretty clean.
The problem, no, it's not a problem. The thing with I said that's the wrong word. The thing with Canada's is that the red maple leaf is awesome no matter what you do. Right? Yeah. It looks awesome on anything. So they have like a 50-yard head start in a 100-yard race. So that being said, I think they did a nice thing. I like the look of it. It's different, right? And who's it? Finland? I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it says Finland in Finnish.
Yeah.
The worst jersey, I'm sorry, is the United States.
I feel, it just sucks, man. Because like
we could black and it says USA. It's horrible.
I kind of wish Canada stuck with like those black World Junior uniforms that they have. I always thought those looked so fucking tough, dude. Especially like when they're playing at like some Western Canadian rink and World Juniors, and they pack the house red. Like, I thought that would have been cooler. USA has not had a cool jersey for a while, which is unfortunate considering red, white, and blue are my favorite colors.
I feel like that was like someone was like, all right, here.
I mean, they kind of. But it's pretty on par with what they do. Like that jersey didn't shock me in any way. Like I was like, okay, that makes sense that USA made that jersey because like I feel like it looks similar to all the other shitty fucking jerseys.
Yeah, but it's not a good jersey.
Yeah. All right, that was our NHL news. Let's dump and change that bitch. All right.
So dump and change is all about Taco Bell.
Yep.
Have you heard of this Taco Bell 50K?
No.
So this is a race that they run 50 fucking kilometers, which is a marathon.
Oh my God.
It's to raise money for charity that helps disabled runners, and the race is not associated with or sponsored by Taco Bell. It takes place in Denver, and next year will be the 8th annual. It's run in October, which is when National Taco Day is, the first Tuesday in every October.
Okay.
So it's a 50-kilometer foot race run on a course in Denver.
I'm already out.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. You have to stop at all 10 Taco Bell stops along the course. You have to eat a menu item from at minimum 9 out of 10. You only have to skip one, that means. By the fourth stop, all entrants have to have consumed at least one Chalupa Supreme or one Crunchwrap Supreme. By the 8th stop, all entrants have to have consumed at least one burrito supreme or a one nacho Bel Grande with the other things you ate. You have to finish the course in under 11 hours. Drinks do not count as food. Entrants must keep all receipts and wrappers for inspection at the conclusion of the race, and there will only be one off-course bathroom break. Once you RSVP, you are committed, and you're not allowed to back out, although I don't know how they hold you accountable. You're not allowed to bring any on-course Pepto-Bismol, Alka-Seltzer, Pepsid AC, or Mylanta.
No Toms.
No Tums. But there is two, like, you can like step it up a level if you already completed. There's a Diablo challenge where you use a packet of Diablo sauce on every item and then do a Diablo shooter at the end of the race. And then there's also a Baja Blast challenge where you have to consume an aggregate of 2 liters of Baja Blast during the race without vomiting. Like, the entire thought of this makes my stomach clench.
I don't know why Taco Bell want to get involved.
Because the website makes pretty much fun of it. They're like, so this is a race that is not a good idea. You know, it's like that, like very tongue in cheek.
Still, if I was Taco Bell, I'd be like, dude, it's all free. Like, we'll have everything ready for
themselves very seriously. So I would think they would get on board.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's just a no-brainer. Can you imagine if somebody just wrote all this down and you thought it was real and it was actually just somebody was just
I actually looked it up and I saw the entry. I was going to enter you.
No. I would have been so
funny is all the people they showed that had finished it before, they're all like 6'2", 160 pounds, lanky, long, and they're all hammering Taco Bell.
You and me, a couple meatballs just rolling down the hill,
throwing up constantly.
All right, Rangers and Bruins talk. So the Rangers, in the last couple of games, they beat the Red Wings 5-2, the Leafs 4-1, the Canadiens 7-2. They lost to the Panthers 3-1, and they just beat the Ducks 2-1. The Panthers loss was kind of infuriating because I would think in the early season you'd have a couple games circled where it's like, hey, we're going to bring in a little bit extra. They scored 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of the game. Lazy, just was not ready to go.
So the Rangers are like, oh, we saw how Boston do it. We're going to do the same thing.
It was fucked up. I was so angry. They did beat the Ducks 2-1. I know that's not like a huge victory, but they dominated that game. That game could have been fucking 8-1. The Ducks goalie played really well.
You want to talk about the Gudas hit?
Yeah, so Gudas he fucking trucked Sam Carrick. Now this is something that I love to see afterwards. Brodzinski kind of went up there. They separated. Fucking maybe 15 seconds later, the puck's down at the other end. Troy Terry goes across the middle, and Adam Edstrom fucking blows him up. And it was like, okay, I love this shit. Like, don't take an extra penalty. Go get somebody else. It was fucking awesome. I'll send you the clip after we're done because you'll be like, oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It was sick. I was like, holy shit. And the moment that happened, Carrick gets blown up, Troy Terry gets blown up. The game kind of went from just being, skills, everything to the outside to like an actual hockey game. Yeah. Like Ryan Strome cross-checked. Phil Hedl.
That's why Gudas is a good captain for them on a young, skilled team.
It was fucking awesome. So, and Carrick, he went to the locker room and he came back out, kept playing. Guys,
I was say he played, right? He finished the game, I thought.
Yeah, he finished the game. Rempe was called back up. We mentioned that earlier with the Caps, the Wilson, McElrath game, whatever it is.
When's that game?
I think on Tuesday. So also, this is something I wanted to kind of dive into because Mika Zibanejad stinks. He's currently last on the Rangers for goals for percentage. When now Peter Laviolette must be seeing this because when you look in terms of minutes of how long our lines have been out on the ice, Lafreniere's line with Trocheck and Panarin have been out there for 102 minutes. The line of Cooley, Capo, and Hedl have been out for 79.6 minutes, and Kreider's line with Mika Zibanejad and Riley Smith have only been out for 71.4 minutes. The top 4 lines by expected goals percentage, minimum 50 minutes played. The 5th best line in the league right now is Beecher, Kepke, and Kastelik, which I didn't know if you knew that, but that pretty quick. That doesn't sound like your first 2 lines, so good on them.
That's the 4th line.
Yeah, and our 7th in the league is Cooley, Hedl, and Capo.
I think Kepke is leading the league in plus minus right now. Also,
it's not bad. They're also the only line in hockey with a minimum of 60 minutes played that haven't given up a 5-on-5 goal. They've outscored their opponents 8-0. So nice to see our third line buzzing. Will Cooley, our top 5 in points. Panarin has 15. Lafreniere has 8 points in 8 games played. Fox 8 points. Trocheck 7 points, and Will Cooley 7 points. So he's getting a little bit more burn. He looks like he gained a step this year, which you like to see. Ruido was placed on waivers, meaning that Mancini's kind of really made the team. Now him and Zach Jones are kind of battling for that 6th defenseman spot, kind of flip-flopping back and forth. It'll be interesting to see what happens as the season goes on. Then a little AHL news. Brennan Othman, he's out 4 to 6 weeks. And Brett Berard, our 5th round pick, 134th overall in 6 games played, has 5 goals and 3 assists. Kid's lighting it up.
Nice.
He is going to be the first call up if somebody gets hurt in the top 3 line. So,
or if Labs decides to send a message.
Yeah, I mean, I want to. We'll see. I like the fact because I was talking to somebody the other day because Mika Zibanejad has been awful and he's done nothing to be better at anything. They keep giving him power play one time. Having read how much time they spend on the ice 5-on-5, I was a little bit better about that. Like he must see it. They're just not good. They're not a good line. So, that's kind of what I have. And then Lafreniere, 7 years, 7.45. Initially, the reports were going to be 8+. So it was really nice to see. A couple funny things. Trocheck said that he gets 5 of it and Panarin gets 10 of it. Panarin said he doesn't want 10. He just wants a helicopter. And then Trocheck said, well, if he gets a helicopter, I just want to ride in Brett's helicopter, which I thought was kind of funny. I think it's a really good deal for a kid who, I mean, you could probably go back to a different podcast where I said trade him, like get him the fuck out of here. He stinks.
I think you just said leave him actually at one point.
Yeah, and it's just like patience and something clicked with him because in the playoffs he was our best player. He was dynamic, and it's continued on to this year. I think I remember because they wanted to put him. Everybody was calling for him to move to the other side and play with Panarin, but Gerard Gallant kept saying he's not comfortable on that offside. But then they would interview him, and he's like, "I would love to play the."
What's he gonna say? Right? He's not. That's a tough thing to ask a young player.
Yeah, but then Laviolette comes in, puts him on the other side. Instant chemistry. Him and Panarin are finding each other. Trocheck's a little rat who works really hard. Lafreniere, I tell you what, man, he finishes every single one of his checks, which I fucking love. He's reliable in the D zone. He's definitely he has that confidence now. This is kind of a completely random thought, but there was a play in the Ducks game where Mika Zibanejad was lined up in an offensive zone draw, and he was kind of right behind. I think Kreider was taking the face off. Kreider won the face off to him. Mika took 2 steps, stopped skating, and floated an area pass to the defenseman sneaking down, which wasn't a good pass. It didn't work out. And I was thinking, and I'm like, holy fuck, like McKinnon would have took that to the house. Crosby would have had a shot. I'm like, listen, I'm like naming all these guys in my head that are like elite players, right? Like your number 1 centers, your first line guys. Pasternak would have shot it. Marchand would have shot it. How many of those guys would have fucking, hey, I don't want the puck, I'm going to give it to somebody else? You are in the middle of the fucking slot, and you just fucking dish it off. Like, what? I think maybe his confidence is at an all-time low. I don't know what's going on. But then I started thinking how many Rangers would have taken that shot, and I can't really name that many because Panarin loves dishing the puck. Like, they're too fancy.
I will say this, Kreider would have shot.
Depending on what game. Like, truly.
And if Trouba was right there, he would have taken a huge,
Trouba 1,000% would have shot.
Huge back slap.
Yeah.
Back scratcher.
Trouba's head was down and that fucking puck was getting fired. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry for the tangent, but I'm really excited that Lafreniere is going to be here for 7 more years. I think he potentially could be a future captain. I love the way he fucking plays the game. And the other thing is the way everybody talks about him. Like, they interviewed Vetrano and Strome because they just came in. And they were asking them about the Lafreniere deal, and they're like, yeah, it's a kid that came in and had to grind and really work his way. Pretty much they both said Gallant fucked him, and they were really proud of him for working through what he had to work through to get to where he's at. So good on him.
How many years was Lafreniere away from his UFA?
I think next year. I don't know if it was UFA. I think it might have been RFA or
RFA. So that what they did is, this is smart by the Rangers, and
smart by both, I think.
Huh?
I think it's smart by both, but keep
going.
Agreed. Play the other side.
So what they did was they ate up one of his, at least one, if not 2 of his RFA years. So he'll be a free agent at 30 instead of 32. So he can still sign a big ticket. And now he has the stability to generate his game to that level where he cashes in. And it saves the Rangers quite a bit. If 100%. They let him go to free agency, they probably saved at least $1 million, $1.5 million a year over the course. So that's $8-9 million. So low key, shout out Chris Drury.
I think this deal, if Lafreniere just continues doing what he's doing right now he's at a point per game clip.
Oh, it's a steal.
If he just becomes a point per game player, fuck yeah. If he becomes even better, fuck yeah.
Yep.
And you nailed it. Like when he is 30, he gets to sign another ticket after already earning almost $50 million.
And it's was it 7? It was 7, right? Just over 7. If he somehow regresses and he becomes a bottom 6 guy, right? He can they can move him and eat some and still be okay. It's a perfect way they did it.
Yeah, and you got to think by the end of his deal, Mika will be gone, Kreider will be gone. It'll be a new order.
Krug will be gone.
It'll be a new order of Rangers forwards with the guy that I think you'd want up there. So I think it's a fucking sick deal. I'm pumped about it because they were talking 8 and all this shit. I'm like, fuck, they saved a little bit more money that they could potentially throw at Igor if they feel necessary, whatever it might be. So
$15 million a year for Igor. Yep.
That's what I got. So it's a lot of Rangers. I'm sorry, but
it's all right. Well, the Bruins are 4-4-1. I mean, it's at the most 500 fucking stat line as humanly possible. They have 9 points, tied with Toronto and Buffalo at the bottom of the Atlantic. Florida with 13, Tampa Bay with 10. And then it's a big drop off. Little road trip. They beat Colorado 5-3. The Abs were horrible trying to give away the game. Korpisalo played okay, while Georgiev was trying to make
How bad is he?
Correct. Horrible. And I will say this, these fucking national games, go fuck yourself, Eddie Olczyk. I don't ever want him on the podcast when I'm here. He's awful. All right. You can interview him. I will choose not to run if Eddie Olczyk ever wants to come on. Or I'll come on just to go admit it that you hate the fucking Bruins. Just admit it. And then we can move on. They lost to Utah 2-1 in overtime. This was a great game, actually, with Swayman and Ingram in that. Cole Koepke got on the board, and then what's his name?
Good luck with that name, dude.
Kolya Chanok came in from the D on the weak side, and no one saw him coming because Marchand tried to dangle like 3 guys.
I saw that play,
and then that gave him that gave the go back the other way, which Montgomery then chewed him out on the bench, which everybody was all up in arms about. Kesselring won it with an overtime power play goal. The one thing I will say about the Utah rink, during the pregame ceremony, the lights took forever to warm up. Do you know how that happens sometimes? The first 7-8 minutes of the first period, I was like, did they have every other light off? It was crazy. It looked horrible.
I saw that Marchand came out and said that he was okay with Cassidy. Or not Cassidy,
Marchand's a pro. He's like Bergeron or Chara.
No,
he's not
I just like that.
Out.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Like fucking
no,
get off
I agree.
My coach. I fucked up and I deserve that.
I think multiple things can be correct at the same time. I think that Marchand coming out and not throwing his coach under the bus is the right thing to do, and that's leadership. You don't come out and be like, "Oh, it was fucking bullshit," right? You're never going to do that. Or I wouldn't. Maybe in Toronto.
I also don't think he felt that way. I think he really
felt I believe that Marchand says what he felt, but even if he didn't, he did the right thing. Yeah. I don't have a problem with Montgomery yelling at him like he did because it was the middle of play. But if it was performative, then I have an issue with it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if Montgomery's going to yell at him, then Montgomery should be yelling at Charlie Coyle. Montgomery should be yelling at Pasta. He should be yelling at everybody, right? I feel like if you're doing it just as a performative thing, then it's fake and false and it doesn't carry into the room. That's just my opinion from the outside. I'm not in the Bruins room, so I don't know.
Yeah, but like I think if I'm on the bench and I see the head coach yelling at our captain, I'm like, oh shit, I better step it the fuck up.
Yeah, I agree. But as long as it's true, it's got to be true.
Well, yeah, he fucked up.
Yeah, but it's got to be true. It can't be Montgomery kicking the barrel to kick the barrel. He's got to be mad. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be. It's got to be true. And then the Bruins went out and were embarrassed in fucking Nashville. This was a fucking gong show. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nashville's a very good team. I don't know where they are in the standings. I should have
not good. They didn't win like their first 6 games.
But if you look at that,
they have the people there. Yeah,
that's a good team. The Bruins looked disinterested or probably hungover if they were out in Nashville the night before. I don't fucking know. Except for Swayman and Kastelik working Shen, which we talked about earlier. They had 2 power play goals with players standing in the blue paint without being touched. Swayman, the third goal, I bet he would want back. He made 39 saves in the loss. So like Swayman did his job. And then they hosted Dallas and they played about 18 minutes of a game. I actually texted Fink midway through the game and I was like, well, at least the team in green decided to play tonight. They were flying, but Dallas outworked them in every phases except for offensive possession. The Bruins had it in the offensive zone, working around the perimeter, get no shot and go back the other way. I was like, what is going on? The giveaways have been like 18 giveaways a game, 22 giveaways a game.
Too much.
And to all you Facebook people that just want to blame the goalie, watch some fucking hockey. So with all this going on, last night, the Maple Leafs roll into Boston. And, the Maple Leafs...
How fucking pumped are you that Matthews turned that puck over?
Oh, what's that?
How pumped are you that Matthews turned
to
turn that
over?
Well,
when he scored the game-tying goal right before. But they come in, they're all saying the right thing. Mitch Marner, oh, yeah, we got to win on the road. We got to win in hostile environments. Willie Nylander going, our own goal horn. Is that Boston? So, they're saying all the right things coming in. Matthews with his stupid fucking face walking in, Squidward himself. And what happens? Like the Swallows of Capistrano and death and taxes, the Toronto Maple Leafs come in and take a big dump in their pants in the face of the Boston Bruins. And like I wrote in the blog, doesn't matter what the issue is, could watching Toronto Boston be the fix all for everything?
It could be. It probably will be, knowing your luck.
And so they have the surprisingly feisty Flyers coming in here on Tuesday, and then they travel on Halloween to Carolina, and then they have the Flyers again on Saturday. So that should be a nice little home and home nastiness with the Flyers.
I'm trying to look up this kid's stats right now because that Russian kid's fucking killing it right now.
Oh, Merkalev or something? Mitchkov, right around there.
8 games played, 4 goals, 5 assists. So
yeah, Flies.
When you're watching the Flyers, see if you can tune in on him and see what you think about his game.
Yeah, I should watch that game tomorrow night, hopefully, Tuesday night. And then for Northeastern, they finally got a 2-win weekend against Holy Cross last weekend, and then a weekend ago, and then Friday they went down to Providence College, and they played horrible and lost 2-1. And it was unfortunate because they should have won that game, but it was just like the Bruins, a lot of offensive zone perimeter time. And it was a tough one. Taze Thompson, friend of the podcast, she was named the Hockey East Player of the Week for her effort against Holy Cross, where she went 1-4-5 in 2 games. It's the first time Taze has been named Player of the Week, so good for her.
Congratulations.
They are ranked 6th in the NCAA, that's men's and women's, in their PK kill rate. So shout out Coach Berm. They have a new commit that you saw that Carp texted us.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Carp sent a text to me and Ked to let us know that we could break this, which I'm sure now it's not news. But Ivana Way is a Swiss center. She's a superstar with all kinds of offensive upside, plays like in the women's worlds and everything. And the very first clip I looked up, she broke out of Michigan in the World Junior Tournament game and stuffed it. So we'll see that at Matthews next year. That'll be nice. The hockey news ranked Irving as the 21st overall pick in the upcoming PWHL draft. I'm sure that number will climb as the season progresses.
That's a bullshit ranking. So.
That's a steal if that's where she goes.
I'm not looking at it that way. I look at it as disrespectful. She's a stud.
And Lily Jovetic graced us on the podcast.
Thank you.
And that is out live now. And I tell you, Jova was great because she talked about how she had to change her game at different levels in order to succeed and get ice time. And she talked about the struggles, and she was very honest and open. It was a really good conversation with her.
Cool.
So, and they have UNH this weekend, but I will be in Dartmouth, so will not be there. I'll be hunting bigger game this weekend.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. All right, we got beer league coming up. Beer league hockey. Oh boy, Brownie. So we had 2 games last week and we lost both of them.
Oh boy.
Our first, I think we're 0-5, 0-6. It has been rough. The the team we played last game, our one buddy Rack came back. He moved to New York City. We used to play with him when I was on the team years ago. And it was me, him, and Blair, and we would light it up. So he comes back. We score 11 seconds in. We were buzzing, like absolutely buzzing. We're up 5-1. Doesn't the other fucking team come back and win 6-5? The other team that we played against, though, all kids who just like graduated from Division III, D1, like very, very, very good. And we did. I think
sounds like there's a little more resiliency on that other team.
I think we had 2 people on our team that played Division III or that kind of level. So they were good. I saw one of the most violent collisions in beer league history of all time. It was just a big ass dude on our team. Didn't see a guy on their team, and they hit, and I was standing right there, and holy fuck, the impact. Guy had a cage on and was still bleeding. I was like, whew, couldn't it be me?
Oh, his cage probably hit his face.
Oh, and then fuck. All right, dude. So we're down 6-5. We have a face off in our offensive zone.
Yep.
Puck goes. There's like 7 seconds left. Puck goes back to the point. There's a thing goes down to the corner. They throw it in front. I'm with Rack, and we are hammering away at this fucking puck. I fucking hit it. Goes in. Tie it up. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. The lady, the ref, blows it dead. Never gave us an explanation of what the fuck was going on. Like so clearly in the net, I could not fucking believe it. The only thing I can think of is they definitely fucked up the time clock because there was only like 7 seconds on the clock.
And you guys didn't hear the horn, or the horn didn't blow?
No, I don't think they started the clock because I was like 6 or 7 whacks in on this puck, and I'm hitting it. I'm like, how the fuck has the horn not gone off yet? Like, and I'm still going at it. And then it goes in, horn goes off, she waves it off. I was so fucking mad. That sucked. And then the Yankees were on. The Yankees fucking lost. Beer league's been tough, but my one buddy Blair, he's probably my favorite player I've ever played with. He's just so easy to play with. The little guy center knows where to be, puts pucks in areas. He always finds me. He's fucking awesome. When we play at Union, he can't make it because he had a kid not that long ago, and that's like those times are when he puts the kid down. Yeah. But when we play in Clifton Park, he can make a Clifton Park game. So we don't have a Union game, I think, for like 6 or 7 games. So I think the next few games we are going to get in the W column. So because I cannot stand losing this much. It makes me miserable. That's what I got.
So my team, what time is it? My team is probably just getting off the ice. I fucked up my ankle last week, and I'm like, I'll be good by Sunday. Sure as shit, I rolled it again this afternoon doing something in the yard. I was like, God damn it. So sorry, boys. Huh?
Icing it?
Rice.
Are you icing it?
No, rice.
What do you mean rice?
Rest, ice, compression, elevation.
So you could have just said yes.
But that ice isn't all you can do. You have to do all of it.
Well, yeah, but you got the ice on there.
I've been doing everything I can.
Why? I feel like sometimes you put ice and then other times you put heat. I never really understand that.
That's for muscles,
Okay.
Which is the whole theory of icy hot. It's cold and hot.
Interesting. Okay.
So sorry, boys. I got a message from the captain the other day. He was like, "Hey, Brownie, you playing this year?" I'm like, "Yep, I should be there on Sunday with a check. Sorry, my bad." He's like, "Oh, looking forward to seeing you." And then I went on the app and I was like, "Out."
Out. Turn off the phone. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And I, with Thursday being Halloween, I can't make the pickup skate, and I'm going away the weekend, so I'll be there for Game 5, boys.
All right, Game 5. That's when players show up.
That's it. I'm doing my own training camp.
And then like debate. It's not. I guess it's not really a debate, but more or less just so my one buddy came, lit it up, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, how many games do I have to get him to be eligible for playoffs? And I there must be a rule of some sort. So I think that's actually a stupid debate because I could probably just ask the dude who runs the league. The only other thing that was been going on is the Yankees are in the playoffs. Our team has a ton of Yankees fans, so a couple of them bought their phones on the bench to watch it. And I was just wondering your opinion on that. But like, I'm for it. I think
I will say a phone on the bench is better than not going to the game because of the baseball game.
Yes.
But
if you're a diehard, I'm cool with it.
I understand it's a World Series, so I will say that there have been times in the past where the Bruins are in the Stanley Cup, not the finals, but like playoffs. And there's a playoff game when we have a game, and the team reaches out to the other team because we're, the predominant Bruins fans.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, listen, if we both call the league and say, change it. And the league used to be really good. I don't want to say the league because they're fucking scumbags. And all they care about is money. But I don't, they used to be really good. Like, oh, you guys can change it to this other rink, blah, we'll just move the ice. But now they're like, you have to pay for the ice time. So you talk to the other team and you're like, listen, you want to forfeit? We'll both forfeit, and we'll just both take the L. I've seen that happen. But then I've also seen there was one year a team wouldn't do it. It was a Patriots big game, and the other team wouldn't do it. So I don't give a fuck about the Patriots. I'm like, I'll go. I think like 6 of us went, and they had like, I want to say they had like 3 lines, and we beat them with 6, and we were like, fuck you guys. It's 1 too. I mean, probably that was when Brady was here. But yeah, so I understand it. But if I will say this, if I'm like I said to you before we started recording, when you talk about someone who has their phone on the bench, I immediately think of Fink, right? Because I could see him with his phone on the bench all the time. And if I'm changing for you and I'm yelling, because I'm very conscientious about changing at the right time, and I'm like, Fink, Fink, Fink. And if he's making some fucking TikTok or making a pouty face, I'm going to chop that phone right out of his hand with my stick.
That's fair. I think if you're a diehard, I think it's cool. But if you're on a team that's 0-5, if you're not a diehard Yankee fan, you better not be watching that fucking thing on the bench.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we got there. And then do you have a hero and zero?
I have a hero. I talked about my zero being the NFL and all the fucking Bruins commentators on Facebook. But my hero is a Zamboni driver in Chelsea, Quebec, was arrested for drunk driving after slow crashing the Zamboni into the corner boards. Drunk driving is bad, but not on a Zamboni.
Yeah, the guy
video is
hilarious.
hilarious.
The guy in Mystery Alaska. The guy in Mystery Alaska who brought the Rangers to Alaska. Remember he got pulled over driving the Zamboni down the road?
Yeah, that was the guy who does all the voices on The Simpsons. That guy.
Yes. Yeah.
But that was a pretty funny story. No one got hurt, right? So that's all that matters.
Yeah. No one got hurt. They didn't ruin the rink, sort of. I don't think I really have any heroes and zeros, man. I've just been grinding. So
you got the jersey?
No.
Oh, all right.
Do we what else you got? I think that's pretty much it. 3 stars.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of Rangers.
Messier, Leach, Richter. Messier, Leach. I don't know if this is gonna be Messier, Leach, Richter, and Lundqvist. I think that would be my top 4.
I would have to go Bergeron, Chara, Ray Bourque. I would love to say Adam Oates.
You gotta go Cam Neely, right?
No, he's annoyed me so much as a president.
But as a player,
yeah, you go Neely, but it would be tough not to say Tim Thomas there. But statistically, Tuukka's better than Thomas.
Yeah.
So that's why it makes it, So that's why I was going to ignore goalies altogether.
I mean, same. I mean, statistically, Lundqvist is probably better than Richter, but Richter's got that cup.
Yeah, same thing. That's why Thomas gets the nod.
Graves would be there. I loved Adam Graves.
You have an honorable mention mountain over to the side.
yeah, he's the little hill off over there.
Mine's Bobby Carpenter. All these
Sean
guys.
Avery, Matthew Corello, Jed Ortmeyer, the fucking boys, dude. Darius Kasparaitis. All right,
that's funny.
Well, what else you got? Anything?
No, man, that's it. Listen, if you're up at the Dartmouth game, Dartmouth hosting Brown Friday afternoon in Hanover, New Hampshire, I will be there on the hunt for that big, bald, beautiful bastard, Jerome McGinley. I hope he's there because I am going to stalk him. And
what are you going to say?
If I saw him?
Yeah.
I would walk up to him and be like, hey, man, sorry to bother you. Huge fan.
Okay.
Can we hug? You want to
you want to make out?
No, I would just go to him and be like, hey, man, huge fan. This is going to sound weird, but I do a hockey podcast, and my sign off every week is giving you a God bless you wherever you are. Here's one of my cards. I'd love to have you come on the pod sometime.
I think that's a good play. It's memorable as fuck.
Yeah. You want to hear something memorable? I think maybe I've told you this before. This kid who used to work for me, Evan, shout out Bacon, wherever you are. He, his whole theory when he met someone famous, he wanted to have a really good banana bread recipe and have perfected it. So it was the best banana bread you could ever have, and then put it on a index card and have it laminated and keep some in his pocket. So if you ever met someone famous, he would walk up to them and be like, hey, like Aginla, hey, Iggy, my name's Evan, big fan. Here's the best banana bread you've ever had, and give him the recipe.
Memorable.
You would never forget him.
Yeah.
So I won't do that. I'm probably going to be tongue-tied, I'm sure. If I did see him, I would be totally tongue-tied. I mean, that's a huge thing if I saw Jerome McGinley. like out in the world.
Your daughter has to introduce you to because you're too nervous. She's like,
so here's the best part.
This is my dad.
Here's the best part. Well, not the best part. So we go up there every year for Dartmouth homecoming. I love going to the antique mall under the influence, right? Bopping around there, high as a mother, wandering into all the stalls. I like to go to this one restaurant, and I always try to go to the hockey game. So I want to get up there. I don't want to dick around all day. So I'm dropping my daughter off at school, and then I'm see you later. I'm going. My wife, her sister are waiting for Riley to get out of school. They're coming up later. They'll probably get up there at like 6. So I'm going to go straight to the antique mall. I'm going to go straight to the hockey game, be on campus waiting for them. And my wife was like, so you're going to be high at the antique mall and then at the hockey game where you maybe meet Jerome McGinley. She's like, there's a chance I don't see you till Sunday. I'm like, there's a very good chance you don't see me till Sunday.
Well, buddy, I hope you have a great weekend, man.
Yeah, it should be fun. I love going up there. God's country. It's beautiful up there. So,
everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. And we will talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, keep your powder dry, right? Isn't that what they say?
I guess. I don't know.